Differential feed is one thing that if you can get it figured out in your mind how it works, and when you need it, you'll understand it. So first off, if you lift up your feed foot, you're going to notice you have two sets of feed ducts, two in the front and two in the back, and they're actually separated with a break. Older Sergers without differential feed had one long feed duct all the way back here, and so it just pulled your fabric in normally, and you couldn't adjust how that happens. Well, because your foot is so long, okay, and then a good inch plus between the front of the foot and where the needles will actually stitch the fabric, what happens is that sometimes the pressure of the foot stretches the fabric out and it comes out all wavy. Also, too, another issue is that on satin fabrics, slippery fabrics, the fabrics tend to gather and crinkle. The bottom layer is fed faster than the top layer. So what I'm going to do is just quick we're just doing a 4th thread. I'm going to actually sew on a diagonal here. I'm going to get it started so that diagonal gets pulled in just fine. And so what we have here is that this starts to curve, and it doesn't really let the fabric lay flat when it comes out. So what's happening is that there's too much pressure as that's going through. It's stitched, and it's almost like stay stitched all the way out. Here's a little bit, let's try this one. It's kind of a funky fleece. See if we get a little bit more. Yep. Okay, so see, sometimes it looks fine, but look, I'm curving it. But when I put it straight, that's when I see the curves. Again, stretched out. And also, too, on this fabric, I'm seeing some of those loops off the edge. So I want to take and move my cutting width, move it away from the needles so it fills more in as I serge there. So how do we fix this? So over here in the back corner, that's why we're viewing back here, it has an N, a 1.5 and up to 2, and then it goes minus or a 0.8, 0.6 setting. So if you think of N as a 1-to-1 ratio, these two feed ducts are pulling in simultaneously. Well, what's happening is that if we could take the front feed ducts and actually help ooze it in, like make it come faster than the back one, it would actually pull the fabric in before it actually gets stitched, and it will help keep the fabric actually at rest when the stitch is actually formed. So with stretchy fabric, the tendency is usually to take it up to about a 1.5 all the way up to 2. Fleeces, sweatshirt fabric, and then the machine will do the rest for you. You really just have to kind of try one, and what it's doing is it's kind of pushing the front of it into where the needle is, and oh yeah, totally much flatter. It's actually even easier to stitch. See how much well, it just comes out perfect. And now on the flip side, when we have two pieces of fabric that is like shiny and slippery, and we put those right sides together, I'm going to go ahead and put my differential feed back to normal. When I stitch these, sometimes my ends come out at different lengths. Okay, these weren't the same length when I started, but let's take a look at what's happening underneath here. So the front is going to probably look fine, but on the back side, I'm starting to get some wrinkles back here on the seam, and that's because the bottom layer is almost getting fed too fast. It's kind of like starting to gather, which you can use the differential feed to gather, and it works beautifully with a gathering foot you can put for the serger. So in opposite, we can go ahead and go to 0.8 or even 0.6, and that front feed dog set is going to say, whoa, it's going to kind of hold back that bottom layer and kind of resist it. So when you go from a seam at one end all the way down to the other end, they will come out even as planned. So if you don't remember which way to go, one will make it worse, one will make it better, do a couple samples and just see what kind of results you have, and know that differential feed is your friend and will often help fix the problems you're having on these difficult fabrics.